Welcome to Story Recap. Today, I'll show you a drama series from 2011 named Game of Thrones. Be aware, spoilers ahead, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Game of Thrones is one of those silver screen masterpieces that will forever remain hard to replicate. It's a stunning adaptation of George R.R. Martin's fantasy novel series, A Song of Fire and Ice. With our pop culture ingestion being increasingly ascertained by the individual classified home screens, this addictive HBO drama is one last vestige of the homogeneity aside from Thanksgiving that can bring all generations together. Coming at the trailing edge of the golden age of television is the dawn of social media. The first episode of Game of Thrones aired 6 months after Instagram was released for the Android market. This helped Game of Thrones to be the most talked about television series on social media to this date. Curious to know what makes this series so popular? Here, we bring you a recap of all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. Season 1. The Night's Watch, a primitive order that guards the wall of North Westeros, discovers a supernatural creature known as a White Walker in the woods, previously believed to be mythical. Ned Stark, the Keeper of the North, leaves Winterfell and his children Sansa and Arya to be the King's hand. During a visit from the King and his family to the north, Bran Stark, son of Ned Stark, tries to climb the grounds when he accidentally comes across an act of incest between Cersei, the Queen, and her brother, Jaime. To maintain the secret, Jaime pushes Bran from the tower window, paralyzing Bran. Tyrion Lannister goes to the Vale with Ned's son Jon Snow to learn more about White Walker, only to be arrested and jailed by Lisa Arryn. The Lannisters take Sansa hostage at the castle, but Arya escapes after experiencing her father's execution. In retribution, Ned's son Robb is crowned Lord of Winterfell and leads the North's armies against the Lannisters. Dothraki Lord Khal Drogo weds Daenerys Targaryen. She claims she is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne and plans an invasion of Westeros, but a curse kills Drogo. Daenerys cements her name as the true Targaryen by being untouched by the fire of her dead husband's funeral pyre and hatching the 3 dragon and eggs given to her as a wedding present. Daenerys claimed the title of Mother of Dragons. Season 2. Stannis is enchanted by the witch Melisandre and publicly asserts the throne, claiming Joffrey's legitimacy. Bran is compelled to seek refuge in the wilderness, and Catelyn suggests that the brothers team up, but an evil spirit summoned by Melisandre kills Renly. Catelyn and Renly's deputy, Brienne of Tarth, is accused of killing after Renly's passing and must flee. Joining forces with Robb, the women plan to have Jaime restored to King's Landing in return for the captured Sansa. Tywin Lannister appoints Arya as a servant at the Palace of Harrenhal, unaware of her true identity. Stannis attempts a boat attack on King's Landing, but blazes called Wildfire consume his military forces after Tyrion pulls a clever trick. Daenerys moves on to Qarth in hopes of gaining support for her Westeros incursion. However, she and her dragons are imprisoned in the House of the Undying. She ultimately manages to reveal her strength and destroys the city. Season 3. Tywin disposes Tyrion as Hand of the King and demands that he marry Sansa, while Joffrey is involved with Margaery Tyrell to secure a coalition between Lannisters and the Tyrells. Jon Snow is beyond the wall where he meets Wildling Commander Mance Rayder and adapts that a battle with White Walkers is on the way. Jon also develops feelings for the Wildling Ygritte. Robb breaks his promise to wed Lord Walder Frey's child, Rosalind, and instead marries Talisa. This ends poorly as Robb, Catelyn, and pregnant Talisa are killed at the Red Wedding, betrayed by the Boltons. Arya escapes with Sandor Clegane after witnessing the fatality of her mother and brother. Bran Stark has discovered that he can project his awareness into the body of a direwolf, and Brienne and Jaime continue south. Daenerys shows off the authority of her dragons by amassing 8,000 specialized warriors known as the Unsullied. Season 4. Joffrey is killed at his marriage to Margaery after drinking from a cup of poisoned wine. Littlefinger transports Sansa from King's Landing to the Vale. Brienne and Jaime arrive at King's Landing, excluding a hand, only to gain knowledge that Sansa has fled, and Brienne takes on the job of determining her. Cersei, distraught over the death of her son Joffrey, blames Tyrion and orders another trial. Oberyn Martell, Tyrion's champion, is beaten by Gregor Clegane, and Tyrion is put in prison. Jaime assists Tyrion in escaping, but the dwarf later discovers his father in sleep with his mistress. Tyrion kills his father and flees throughout the Narrow Sea, hoping to beat his sister Cersei. In the meantime, Brienne tracks down Arya and the Hound and annihilates Sandor Clegane in war. Arya flees to Braavos to take lessons from Hakeem Hagar at the House of White and Black. Season 5. Stannis burns Mance Rhaegar at stake, and Jon is elected president of the Night's Watch despite objections from the Brotherhood's elder. Littlefinger had taken Sansa to Ramsay Snow, intending to see the couple marry, but Sansa endures at the hands of Ramsay, aided in her escape by Theon, who attempts to overcome his insanity and atone for the wrong he did to the Starks when he deceived Robb. Cersei's plots against Margaery, who was wedded Joffrey's brother Tommen, the new king, proceed. The High Sparrow reveals Cersei's sexual history. Tyrion has traversed the Narrow Sea to meet Daenerys, earning her trust and being appointed ruler in her absence. Jon gathers a gang of Night's Watchmen at the Wall in hopes of allying with the Wildlings. The gathering is cut short when the Night King slaughters just about everyone present. When Jon gets back to the Wall, those who stayed behind repeatedly impale him, killing him. Season 6. Melisandre summons Jon from the grave, realizing him to be the ruler who was promised as a vessel for the Lord of Light. Jon reclaims command of the Night's Watch and vows to return to Winterfell and recapture it from Ramsay Bolton. After traveling to the Wall, Sansa regains her authority and feeds Ramsay to his dogs in retribution for the violence he inflicted on her. On the other corner of Westeros, the High Sparrow is putting Cersei on the test for her sexual misdeeds, and the High Sparrow maintains control over the unpracticed King Tommen. Daenerys is supposed to survive in seclusion with the other widows in her tribal group after being taken prisoner by the Dothraki. However, she demonstrates her magical abilities by walking through fire and arising unscathed. Arya has learned everything from the Great House of Black and White and gets revenge on her slain relatives by slitting Walder Frey's neck. Bran has received training as well, but from the Three-Eyed Raven, who is then killed by the Night King, and Bran steps in for him. Season 7. Daenerys and her troop of Unsullied and Dothraki deck Greyjoy vessels and commute to the Dragonstone, which is Stannis Baratheon's former home. Melisandre attempts to spark a romance between Jon, but also Daenerys, informing the Mother of Dragons that having Jon as an alliance in her quest for the crown will be beneficial. The Unsullied and Yara are sent to King's Landing. Euron Greyjoy proposes to Cersei, attempting to sway her opinion by establishing to thwart his niece Yara and her invasion force. Dothraki and Lannister travel north of the walls searching for a White Walker, but Jon falls victim to the Night King and must be rescued by Daenerys. Going back to King's Landing, Jon and Daenerys discuss joining forces with Cersei to defeat the White Walker army, trying to bring their White Walker to persuade her. Arya and Sansa Stark rejoin Bran in Winterfell, but tensions between the sisters emerge, which Littlefinger exploits. Season 8. With his entire family killed, Tyrion witnesses the destruction and steps down as Dany's Hand of Queen. She enslaves him, but prior to burning Tyrion, Jon goes to see Daenerys. Dragon flies to his mom's side, perceiving something wrong and burning all that led to Dany's killing, the Iron Throne. Grey Worm and the Unsullied have imprisoned Jon beside Tyrion. Arya, Bran, and Sansa, and the remaining 7 Kingdom Lords in the Dragon must determine what to do. At the very end, Jon comes back to Castle Black's ruins to discover Ghost. Jon leads a federation through the wall and Ghost eventually gets the love, and that's about it. If you like the story, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. What recap would you want to see next? Let us know in the comment section.